What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld, and right now we're going to be discussing EA Sports disrespecting King Henry again, dude. Like, I don't know what this man has to do. It's sort of like the fact that even back in the day, like if you guys go back to Madden 10, I don't know how long you guys have been playing Madden, but back in Madden 10, I think it was Larry Fitzgerald, and who was the other guy that was on the cover with him? Was it Palomalu? But Larry Fitzgerald has never really gotten respect for his speed in this game. I would say Julio Jones as well. Even at their peaks, EA Sports just give them whatever number they want. Now, Derrick Henry is going to be coming in later today, or probably at the time that you're watching this video, with a 91 overall. He's going to have an 88 speed as the stock card. So that obviously means he's going to get powered up to an 89. You add 2 with Sprinter, he's going to go to 91. All right. Now, you might say to me, G-Mine, 91 speed is pretty decent. But I don't think it's fair based on what we've actually seen. Now, I want to give the EA Sports Madden Ultimate team a lot of credit with the way that they've actually stayed up to date with like giving us the players that actually played well. They did it with the Claypool. Like they've been doing a much better job overall with everything based on the feedback with that. So it's not like they're not listening to us at all. It's just like they're taking little bits and pieces and giving us whatever they feel like. So look, let's analyze what's going on right now with Derrick Henry, right? We're going to go ahead and take a look at his card because for me, it kind of makes it more difficult for me to want a power back because it's not like power backs have to be slow. You see what I'm saying? But we've accepted it. It's like, all right, you know, the dudes are slow, but they can truck, right? This guy's going to have a 90 truck on this card. That's also a slap in the face because the dude is trucking dudes, slapping dudes across the field. You know, he made the dude do a scissor kick. Who's that, Josh Norman? But I know what you guys are going to say. Josh Norman sucks. I get that. But when you make a grown man do a scissor kick and it's no Street Fighter, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not talking about Chun-Li. Bro, we're not talking about, you know, Mortal Kombat with Liu Kang. He made Josh Norman do a scissor kick, dude. Like, that is... Look, until you've done that as a man to another man, you don't understand the power. Like, just looking at that, like, oh my God, he just really did that. And we're not watching a Marvel movie. Like, Josh Norman should not be on the team anymore. Like, it's really that embarrassing. But look, let's not get into that. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the things that are going on. So you see his power up. We'll go ahead and we see his 83 overall card and the 87, right? So you can see based on what's there, nobody is really going crazy over the card. Let's take a look at why that is, right? So his 87 overall card, let's go ahead and dissect that real quick. He has an 85, so they give him a +3 speed, right? They add his acceleration to an 86. So it looks like they're just giving him +3s there. His agility, they give him an 80. So they're just giving him like 3s everywhere. Then his truck was an 85, so they give him a 90. So look at what's interesting about that, right? They give him the tier right before the last tier of trucking because that gives them space to be able to give him more stuff later, right? Because, you know, they got to give him another card. So instead of giving him what he's due right now, they can kind of work around it. You see, these are the things that I understand the progression, but you have to be careful with it because EA Sports, with the overalls that they give these cards, most of the time it doesn't make any sense at all. We can all agree with that, I believe. I think we've already come to that conclusion. A dude will be a 90 overall and only have 60 overall ratings. We've seen that. So mathematically, it doesn't make sense what they're doing, but I understand why they don't want to boost it too much. Like I said, obviously there's theme teams, there's other things with the team chemistries, there's things like that that's going to affect it where you can boost it beyond. So let's go ahead and try to understand what's going on, right? My belief is this: if a card plays outstanding and you're going to give them a card, you can give them other attributes in between to make everybody happy and not boost them all the way because he's not year end. Because remember, we still have the Harvest promo. We got, we're waiting on Most Feared. It's like everything is like at a standstill with EA right now. It's like weird stuff going, but we know that there's a lot of content actually coming. So when you ask me about his card overall, I don't like that they gave him the base of 88 speed, right? Why don't I like that? Because Bo Jackson, even though he's one of the fastest guys ever, they kind of give him the flexibility to mess around with his numbers to make him suitable, but at the same time, even though it's an early card, we're not upset about it. You know, like when they released his card, was it what we all wanted? No. And because of that card, I was able to snipe Barry Sanders. So I'm very, very happy for those of you guys that, you know, dumped Barry for Bo and then immediately realized you made a mistake and tried to get him back. And then he went back up to 1 million. Now he's about 800K. But we accepted that with Bo because it's like early and we know they have to boost it later. The problem with Derrick Henry is people don't like power backs in the game because it's still a situation where an elusive back is going to go for 6 and these guys are going to get caught. Because You can truck somebody, and I give EA kudos for this. You can truck somebody this year and stay on your feet. It's like every other year they fix it. One year you can truck, stay on your feet. The next year you truck, you fall automatically. Okay, the next year, like, they keep going, you know, forward, backwards, forward, backwards. This year you can actually truck, stay on your feet, and keep going. The problem is everybody else around the field is so much faster. So you can't really, with a 10-yard, you know, head start, run for 6. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's true. You will get caught by a 47 speed lineman with Barry Sanders with a 10-yard lead. That's just what it is. And you guys have to understand that. So, you know, looking at his card going to an 88, you know, 89 chem, 91 with sprinter. If you have a Tennessee Titans theme, you add another 2. All right, so he goes to a 93. Is that fair? You know, like I said, bro, look, I can't say that that's fair because I think he deserves more for the card, and they can do that without making him really, really wild. Like, put it like this, right? If you give him a different tier for truck, like, you know he's gonna be at 90, give him 93 so that people can chem him to the 95 in the final tier, and then people will have to shut up. Like, you'll argue with me about it, like, yo, Gmia, they kind of, you know, they played King Henry, and I'll be like, yo, look, he gets the final tier at truck with chems. So even though we know, like, EA Sports and the chemistries don't really matter the way we think it does, at least I can say that to you and you'll be like, all right, cool. He got a final tier with something. He doesn't get a final tier with anything. He even with the chems, he's going to still be below. You can give him the opportunity to do that because it's sort of like this, right? When you go over and look at Barry Sanders right now is an outrageous card. I just wanted to go ahead and explain to you why I know they can do this. Now, look. This is the way his card looks with just the regular, you know, boost or whatever. Like after you give him, I think with the 91 speed, all this stuff is just from his power up, but he doesn't have a power up. It's just his final card. Because remember, they don't show you the boosts of the other cards when you compare it. It's something about the way EA likes to operate. So I'm going to show you why I believe they can do a better job with these Team of the Week players. Even though Barry Sanders is a 93, they gave him the opportunity to get really ridiculous chems through just, you know, using the team chems, using physical chems, stuff like that. The problem with it, right, like I said with Derrick Henry, many people are going to be upset because they just automatically, you know, we think that he's faster than what he's going to be chem to, which is why you see no differences in his cards and everybody know that he's coming, right? So look, let's take a look at this real quick so I can let you know further explain. Like, yo, Gmia, what do you mean by that? What do you mean that EA can do a better job at giving us cards that are doing well? Well, let's take a look at Barry Sanders, right? I just showed you what he was with everything that was going on with his base card with none of the chems on it, right? 91, all that stuff. Now look at the chems. 95, 98, 94. You see all these 94s? It doesn't really hurt them that much to give them something else because that will make most of us shut up. Like, bro, I can't complain about this card. You guys would laugh at me if I complain about Barry because EA did a good job with this card. And he's a card that at the beginning of the year cost so much through doing, you know, the Team Diamond sets that we deserve to be able to chem him to this. So there was no complaints, right? Everybody's like, all right, cool. It's some things that they do where it's like, all right, that card got some love, we Gucci. But, you know, Derrick Henry, they need to stop this whole thing where the power back can't be fast. Because that doesn't make any sense. Because to me, Eric Dickerson was a power back, but he was pretty fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, you know, Barry Sanders is elusive. Bo Jackson was kind of a hybrid, but he's also a guy where it's like, dude, he was just doing whatever he wanted. He'll truck you for 6, but he was also super fast. So we have to meet that medium where it's like, all right, Derrick Henry should be able to get a decent threshold for something. Not just a mediocre card at 91, because then it's not fun, even with the Tennessee Titans chem. So, you know, they have other legends coming out, Shannon Sharp, all that stuff. I don't really care about those cards, so I'm not even going to get into that. Later on, if you guys want me to go ahead and talk about that, I will. But for now, I don't really care about it. So we're going to just leave it at that and just keep it moving. But again, they're going to have to do something about that because I want to buy Derrick Henry. Like, I really want to use him on my team and truck somebody into Saturn. But then I know that as soon as I truck somebody, what's going to happen after that? I'm getting tackled. And then even if I get a head start, I'm going to get warp tackled from 20 yards back. So I can't do anything with him, you know, even though I want to utilize him. But again, it is what it is. That's pretty much what's going to be hitting us later on today. There's a lot of other cards, like I said, Shannon Sharp upgrades to Matty Ice and stuff like that. We'll talk about all that stuff later once all the content is released. But I just wanted to give you guys some thoughts on that and let you guys understand the power back is still not the move in Madden 21. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love, y'all.